Welcome into Double T Insider. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Taylor Peters alongside Adam Doyle. Well, a slew of home games this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Adam, we'll start with that Friday night volleyball match. Texas Tech hosting number 18 Iowa State. It starts off hot. They take the first two sets from Iowa State, and then things kind of get a little bit interesting. What did you see from Coach Graystone and company on Friday? Well,
after getting their first Big 12 win of the season, obviously spirits really high, but we saw that they didn't sleep on Iowa State the next home match. They come in and they punch the Cyclones in the mouth. And honestly, I mean, there's a lot of work still to be done, and that's perfectly fine. We'll talk to Coach Graystone later about that, but still a lot to look forward to for that team.
Impressive, and 4 players with double digits in kills, and that was really good too. It's nice to see your good players consistently playing well. Texas Tech soccer on Sunday hosting TCU. That one we knew coming in was going to be a really exciting match, and it would go into overtime, but in that extra period, TCU would sneak one in early and kind of take the wind out of the sails of the Red Raiders, but a really hard-fought battle. You were there on the sideline for the broadcast. What did you see? What did you hear from Coach Stone and the soccer team?
It was windy. It played a huge factor. I mean, winds in the mid-20s, and I know we don't typically complain about that out in West Texas, but 8 straight days of measurable rainfall. It was a different feel out there. It got windy. You know, as they go into overtime, TCU gets the win first, and they score in the first minute. And so you walk away out of a weekend with 0 points, but that's just being in a Power 5 conference. A lot of opportunity at Baylor this next week. They'll bounce back.
So soccer would lose it 1-0 in overtime. Texas Tech football on Saturday trying to force that game into overtime, but they would fall here in the Big 12 opener to Oklahoma State 41-34. Adam, what did you see? What were kind of some of the game-changing moments for you? Obviously, 1:12 left. Texas Tech has to score to be able to send that into overtime, but we know that it didn't come down to one play.
DeMarcus Fields was the first big play. Second drive for Oklahoma State. They have an opportunity to go up 14-0 and really kind of put that game away early. DeMarcus Fields, 96-yard pick 6. And the defense has now forced a turnover in every single game they've played this season. They are keeping the offense in the game, and this is really a balanced attack from Tech. I know it's tough. You know, you want to win those games. National television, it's on Fox, big audience, but we still learned a lot about this team. They're going to be in big games late. Second big play was clearly we kicked that onside kick after the big penalty after the touchdown. We get it, but we give it right back to Oklahoma State. They go down with a game-winning drive. Still a lot to be happy about as you head to Kansas this week.
Well, and I wanted to mention, too, that DeMarcus Fields, Big 12 newcomer of the week. Defensively, though, there were a number of players that played well. I mean, we looked good defensively from a defensive standpoint for Texas Tech. Jordan Brooks, Dakota Allen, Jayshon Johnson, some of our players, like we mentioned, having big games, and you've got to have those guys be consistent every single week. Vontae Dorsey back, which is nice to see after he went down at Houston. Other defensive players that caught your eye?
Well, just as a whole, I mean, everybody wants to look at the fact Mason Rudolph earns Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Everybody's going to throw against 300 against a defense. We're playing the Big 12. It's understandable. But the defense creates turnovers, gets plenty of stops in the second half. This group is, again, as a whole, is playing as a team, and they look good. This is going to bode well for us in the future.
We'll talk more Texas Tech offense coming up in just a little bit on Double T Insider, and we'll meet one of the most dynamic players on this Texas Tech offense in receiver Keke Coutee. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Double T Insider is brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com.
Back goes Shimanek looking left, now middle of the field. It is caught by Coutee. He's hit, and that just pushes him forward. The 40, the 30, down the right side to the 10-5. Touchdown, Red Raiders! Shimanek delivered it to the middle of the field where Coutee had come from his right side, and when the hit was made, instead of it sending him to the ground, it literally pushed him forward, and it pushed him forward fast enough to get behind the secondary, the safeties. It was Webster, Susie Webster, that was the guy that was chasing him. 68 yards for the score.
Welcome back into Double T Insider. Adam, we're talking to a player whose name we have heard over and over and over again this season, and that's Keke Coutee. And whether you're talking to the coaches or the fellow players, he's somebody who has really stepped up in a big way this year, both as a leader and on the field. But what do you think it is about him that makes his game so explosive?
Well, it's the big play threat. I mean, he's averaging around 16 yards per catch, 31 receptions this year, just under 500 yards, and he's got 4 touchdowns. He's going to find his way in the middle of your defense, and you have so many things to worry about already with what we have on the outside. That's really opened it up for him, and he's made every big play, at least we've seen in the passing game so far.
And he comes in with the total package, too, because not only is he explosive, he's quick off the line, he is fast, and he's quick. I mean, he is somebody who can just, he's so elusive, he can get away from you, so he's not normally brought down on the first contact anyway, and so any type of defensive player that's going after him is definitely going to see that type of threat, too.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's a guy that can block, too. I mean, that's a big part of what they do. He'll get out there and block if he has to. But this team is a lot different offensively, and it opens up the running game when he's doing what he usually does, which is, stretches those safeties out and makes those cornerbacks play 5 yards off.
A lot of excitement and a lot of expectation on Keke Coutee this year. We had a chance to sit down with him and talk to him about how he handles all the pressure at the national stage.
You could tell a light clicked and he wanted even more.
I guess it prepares me to go against other receivers in the conference and knowing I'm never going to face anybody like Keke.
If I throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, he can take it to the house.
Every day he comes to practice, he comes with a chip on his shoulder.
One of the best playmakers, if not the best playmaker in the country.
No one compares to him, so probably say he's probably the best of the best.
He's got a real hunger to be great.
He's got an opening. He's got a touchdown, Red Raider.
I've been playing football since I was 6, so to be able to just go to the NFL one day and just pursue my dreams would really mean a lot to me. It mean a lot to me and my family because they want to see me do great, and I want to do great for myself as well.
77 yards to Keke Coutee. One of the most dangerous men in the NCAA. This guy is so hard to bring down. No one will catch him. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
Adam, I like to, whenever I have a chance to talk to some of the defensive players, ask them who they like to go against, who's an offensive guy that makes you better, and every single defensive back has said Keke Coutee. But when you look ahead to this Kansas game, Kansas is 122nd in scoring defense, and so this is the type of defense that the Tech offense loves to go against. But what are you anticipating seeing from Nick Shimonek on Saturday?
Well, a lot of points. I mean, a bounce back. The offense didn't play the way they wanted to in the first half against Oklahoma State. Still put up 34, though. I'm still going to look at the defense, though, if I'm completely honest with you. All right, last time we were up there, 11 a.m. kick like this. Kansas is always such a tough team to play. It's a Big 12 game, but their place is still difficult to play at. Ja'Shawn Johnson had a pick 6 in that game. We talk about we've had a turnover in every single game this season. I think the defense will need another turnover like that to make sure this isn't one that you're a little sleepy at on a Saturday morning. You
can't sleep on any team in the Big 12. But whenever you look at this game on the road, how important is it for them to go to Kansas and have a huge bounce back?
Yeah, I think it's a quick start is what you need. Since it's such an early, it's on the road, one of the further away places you're going to play from Lubbock. A quick start is needed. You talk about a guy like Keke. If you can get him open, loosen up that defense a little bit, and then the running game will keep possession for you, and we can control this one.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Double T Insider. Welcome back into Double T Insider. Adam, we've talked volleyball, we've talked soccer, we've talked Texas Tech football, but something we haven't talked about yet much on the show is basketball. Can you believe that we are just 1 month until the start of Red Raider and Lady Raider basketball?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's crazy how fast this semester's already going that we're talking basketball already. But men's basketball started their first practice on Monday. The Lady Raiders starting theirs on Thursday. But for this men's basketball team, last year, more than a handful of losses by 1 possession or less. Every Big 12 game comes down really to the last 2 minutes of the game. And they have a new motto to add on to their 4-1 motto this year, and that's finish.
As with every other team in our league, we have shown the ability to play with anybody on any given night. But I think what separates the guys that have a chance to compete for a championship and the rest of us is consistency. So we want to be a consistent team every single day, and that hopefully that will produce better results in close games. And then secondly, maybe even more important, I think just playing the game the right way.
A lot of games last year we didn't finish, and you know, it was hard. It was hard to go through. I'm sure for the fans it was hard to watch because we were right there. So many games, you know, could have turned our season around, and that's primarily what we're focusing on now with the 4-1 mindset. It's just being able to finish, you know, in tough times in adversity, and when things aren't going our way, you know, just stay level-minded, stay focused, and you know, just get things done.
I know and they know that where they want to be is that tournament and to win this year for their last year, and we know what it takes. We just got to make sure that we instill that same passion in these other guys, and as a team collectively, we'll get there by finishing and having that mentality of hungry every day to get better.
Taylor, when we think of men's basketball, at least in recent history, we've thought Keenan Evans, Zach Smith, Justin Gray, Noren Sodiase. Right. All 4 of those guys are back for their senior year. They'll lead this group, but there's 2 4-star recruits in Zaire Smith and Jarrett Culver that'll add to that core that have already looked extremely impressive. So again, they've got to finish, but this group looks like they have the pieces to get it done. And Lady Raider basketball celebrating a huge anniversary, 25 years since their 1995.
25 years, can you believe that? Yeah, and Coach Sharp obviously still on campus, still very connected with Lady Raider basketball, but another name very familiar to that 93 championship season, and that's Cheryl Swoops. She's the new head of player development. She has just been outstanding for the players to be able to interact with. But when you look at this group that's coming back, you only lose 1 senior in Yvonne Cook-Taylor. So you've got Brittany Brewer coming back. You've got Jada Terry, who's huge. She's inside, and she's going to be somebody who we are expecting big things from this year. But maybe the most exciting name is Rasay Caldwell. She's a player who has done a lot in her career here at Texas Tech. She's only a junior this year, so really exciting things coming from her. And also this weekend, Saturday, it's their open practice. It's right here at the USA. That will start at 2:30, but doors open at 2 o'clock, and it's going to be an exciting time for you guys to be able to come and meet the Lady Raiders, meet the staff, and meet the players, and to be able to hear what their expectations are for this season.
A lot of excitement around both programs. Clearly the anniversary, a lot of good recruits in both programs, but it's not just the teams, it's the facilities as well. We office here in the United Supermarkets Arena, and downstairs has a whole new look. Both locker rooms have been renovated. Upstairs in the Hall of Champions, that is going to look completely brand new. And then, of course, they announced that we're going to have a new practice facility. So a multitude of things around both men's and women's basketball to be excited about.
Yeah, things really looking up for Texas Tech basketball. Well, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we sit down with head volleyball coach Tony Graystone. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Double T Insider. Welcome back into Double T Insider. Adam and I are now joined by head volleyball coach Tony Graystone. Coach, you guys split last weekend, a victory over West Virginia on Wednesday, and then a heartbreaking loss Iowa State on Friday. But let's talk about that West Virginia match. How huge was it for you guys to be able to start conference play with a big win?
Yeah, that was really big. You know, we're at this point where it's the same message from us every day. We're so close, and we just got to get over the top. And if we don't do it, then that message starts to not have that impact. So it was good for the team to really get there, and just all these things they've been working towards, and it finally paid off. So that was a great win for us. West Virginia is a very good team, and they'd come off a big win, and so that was a really strong performance from us.
Emily Hill can swing it. 26 kills in that West Virginia win. Chandler Atwood had a personal best as well in that match. Both those ladies have stepped up big time, it seems like, for you. Not just in that match, but in Big 12 play as a whole.
Yeah, no question. And and I know Emily had that huge night on Wednesday, and I hate to say it was a quiet 26 kills, but I know we were giving her the ball a lot, but the consistency of it and just the ability for her to really get us out of trouble time after time. And it was just a really good matchup for our Pins that night, and Chandler the same way. And Chandler ended up being kind of the closer, just happened that she was in the front row on almost all those sets at the end, and she was putting them away, and that was good to see her take that next step and be that girl we could count on to close one out.
And then Friday night, you guys host number 18, Iowa State, and you start off with a win in the first 2 sets, and then in that third match, things kind of started to get a little bit interesting. I guess just what did you see from a fighting perspective of your team to be able to take those first 2 and then to be in a position to be able to take that match?
Yeah, the first 2 sets, we played really good volleyball, and Iowa State did too. It was really back and forth, good offense on both sides, and we were just able to get it done at the end. And then about the third set, you could see they went to a 6-2 full time. They changed their offense a little bit. Their ball control really picked up, and their offense really kicked in, and it was just harder for us to kind of match up with them offensively just because they were in system so much. So but in the fifth set, I mean, we were down, and then we came back, and it was 12-11, and we're right there, and had a couple swings, and we just didn't get it. And so, you know, you walk off and you're disappointed, but at the same time, we're really encouraged by the whole week in general, and just for us to take those steps and know that on any given night, we're looking like a top 25 team.
When you talk about steps, I mean, now you go back on the road for 2 matches in a row. Clearly, this program has taken a huge step in the right direction. You guys had plenty of opportunities to win both those matches, even in 3 sets. What's it going to take? What is the next step to winning these and winning them on the road consistently?
It's just composure. It's being able to do it on the road in somebody else's gym. It's being able to execute a game plan even though the environment may be not friendly, you know, and just being able to control that environment and just, you know, settle things down and do the right thing. And I do feel good about that. We've been, you know, that was part of the preseason. You know, we played at Cal, we played at Georgia, you know, we played at Clemson, and so we played at UTEP. That was a 5-setter, you know. So we've done the work to put them in this position, and so I don't think we'll see any surprises on Wednesday.
Coach, you have talked about how pleased you've been with Keke Coutee and just the way that she's been able to face the challenges and kind of risen to the occasion. It's hard to come in and to be the backup for somebody as good as Tita, but she has just been extraordinary since she's taken over that libero position.
She really is. As a DS, she was by far the best DS, and on any given match, we would look at it and say, well, both of those girls could probably start for the other side. They're just that good, and so it was a real luxury to have both of them, and then Tita goes down, and Kate is just like she's always been there, you know. But if you know her, you know, that's just her way of doing things, and so a lot of confidence, and she really believes in herself. She's a senior, and she acts like it, and she's been through this down at Corpus where she knows how to win and knows what those expectations are, and so you'll never find a moment that's too big for her.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you guys as you head back out on the road. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back on Double T Insider.
Double T Insider was brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com.
Welcome back into Double T Insider. A tremendous gesture made by Texas Tech football on Saturday as they honored a young man, a Texas Tech football commit who earlier this year lost his battle to cancer.
Right, Luke Gonzarowski passed away, as you just mentioned, but his legacy able to live on within Tech football because they created a scholarship for him, and they recognized his family this weekend on the field by letting them know that they were going to do that in a very special way, and it received a really, really loud ovation like it should have. And everything that we've heard from inside of that program is that there wasn't a bigger fighter than Luke, and like I said, he gets to live on through this. And it was neat too. Nick Shimanek, he put on his quarterback towel and LG to further go and honor Luke and to play for him in that game. Turning their attention now, though, to a road game at Kansas. Texas Tech football, an 11 o'clock kick in Lawrence. Red Raiders will hope to bounce back after their first conference loss and move their record to 1-1 in Big 12 play. And Texas Tech soccer looking to bounce back. They head back out on the road to Waco, Texas. They'll face Baylor Friday night at 7 p.m. Texas Tech volleyball also on the road for 2 straight matches. They'll take on Kansas State in Manhattan on Saturday. Watch that live on ESPN3. And don't forget, for all the ticket information and the game information that you need, just go on over to texastech.com. For Adam Doyle, I'm Taylor Peters, and this has been Double T Insider. We'll see you right here, same place, same time, next week.